Before I begin, I'd like to again congratulate all of you on the accomplishments and the achievements that have led you to be finalists for the Moorhead-Cain Scholarship. And thank you all for coming to spend the weekend here with us in Chapel Hill. I'd also like to thank the advising team at the Foundation for giving me the chance to talk about my experiences with the Civic Collaboration Summer with you all this morning, not least because it means I got to come up here for a free and fantastic breakfast. Myself and some other fellow breakfast veterans were commiserating over this year's conspicuous absence of the cheese grits. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But a delicious breakfast nonetheless. Many of you are familiar with the idea of service as an individual effort, perhaps undertaken alongside others, but still with a decidedly individual focus and impact. Civic Collaboration, the second summer of the Morehead-Cain Summer Enrichment Program, will introduce you to service in a macro-oriented and team-centered way, engaging you and a team of your peers on an issue of pressing importance in cities around the country, and doing so in a way that allows you to bring together your diverse experiences, interests, and areas of expertise to maximize the impact that you leave with your projects. Last summer, I had the opportunity to travel to Albuquerque, New Mexico, with 4 other scholars in the class of 2021 to work on a number of community policing initiatives. Our placement was facilitated by Liz Keller, a Moorhead-Cain alumna and Rhodes Scholar who currently works at Sandia National Laboratories, while also finding time to work part-time as the First Lady of Albuquerque and raise 2 young children. In short, probably one of the sharpest and most capable people that I ever have or ever will meet. She was also our project supervisor for the summer, but no pressure there. While we were hosted in the suite of offices on the 11th floor of the Bernalillo County Government Center that houses the office of the mayor, as you can see in this horrific attempt at a selfie for our Instagram takeover, our primary project partners were just down the street at the Albuquerque Police Department's Crisis Intervention Team. They operate a program in cooperation with the University of New Mexico that blends the concepts of telemedicine and the principles of community policing and law enforcement, running a weekly online seminar for officers in New Mexico and around the country to log in and discuss calls for service that they have responded to for persons experiencing mental or behavioral health crises. Officers also have the opportunity to debrief their own responses on these calls, to learn from other officers who have been in similar situations, and to listen to short lessons on mental and behavioral health from licensed psychiatrists. The project is funded by a grant from the U.S. Department of Justice and was established to help the city comply with federal mandates negotiated in the wake of several officer-involved shootings of persons in mental and behavioral health crises. Our task was to evaluate the efficacy of the project in terms of content, dissemination, and engagement, to be used in the following grant term as they extended the project by another 3 years. Sifting through court documents, community meeting minutes, and countless data sets, we get to fully understand the city's undertaking and the ways it directly addressed the problems that they faced. While that occupied about half of our time, we had the freedom to direct the rest of our efforts towards exploring the variety of other community policing programs operated under the umbrella of a wide range of partners throughout the city, as well as the police department itself. Each and every one that we reached out to was more than generous with their time, and their interviews and feedback, along with our previous research, helped us to compile our final 80-page report to the mayor and other senior city officials at the end of our 8 weeks in Albuquerque. But our summer wasn't all about work. After we produced a first draft of the aforementioned 80-page report, its pages were promptly folded into paper airplanes, which we then threw across our office and had a small target drawn onto our whiteboard before settling back in to refine our findings. None of us had ever been to Albuquerque before, and our posting was a chance to explore a new and exciting part of the country. With all 5 of us piled into the same house, we became closer than you might ever wish to be with a group of your classmates. Living all together gave us each a better understanding of each other's perspectives and experiences as we worked to develop our final report. But it also led to a number of adventures over the summer. Our first weekend there, we all went to see The Incredibles 2. Because when you're 5 19-year-old boys unsupervised 1,000 miles from home with a stipend check burning a hole in your pocket, what else would you go do? We took the train up to Santa Fe twice, exploring art galleries and old bookshops, and the tram up to the top of Sandia Peak. We watched fireworks on the 4th of July from the mayor's box at the Albuquerque Isotopes baseball stadium. Hunter developed an interest in the tarot. Jay took up poetry writing. Jason outflexed everybody at the gym. Matthew began writing a screenplay, and I continued my ongoing love affair with local politics and government. I can't tell you how excited I was to be able to work with the mayor's office. And while I maintain that Vi Lyles, the mayor of my hometown of Charlotte and the person for whom I cast my first ballot ever, will never be out-mayored by anyone else, it's a privilege to be able to work at the policy setting and not just the policy implementing level. In many ways, some of them literal, local governments are where the rubber meets the road, delivering the services that we use every day but often take for granted. Separate from civic collaboration, I encourage each of you to pay attention to city and county government and elections back home, and to hold your local representatives accountable for the change they are bringing to or keeping from your communities. My own interest in local government came from working on a city council campaign almost 4 years ago, and the new understanding of my own city that experience brought me has driven me to seek out ways to push Charlotte to be a place that others don't just live, but love, as deeply and with as much excitement for its future as I do. Getting to work with new and different policy issues in a substantive way in Albuquerque and within a new and different government structure only increased this excitement that I have for continuing to explore issues of responsive and effective municipal administration. Civic collaboration is an incredible way to immerse yourself in work that can and does make a meaningful impact on the communities with which you're working, and I hope it will be as strong a cornerstone of your Moorhead-Cain experience as it is for mine. Thank you.